Beloved soul, this message comes as a divine call of urgency from Archangel Michael, breaking through the veils of confusion and fear that surround the human heart. Heaven's timing differs from the human understanding of hours and days, for when divine action becomes necessary, it moves swiftly and with purpose. This moment is one of those sacred intersections between heaven and earth, where you are being asked to awaken to your divine identity and to respond with courage, prayer, and truth. The heavenly vibration is increasing around you. The energy you feel now is not chaos but divine realignment. It is the sound of heaven's armies moving in your favor. The light of truth cuts through darkness, and Michael's sword is already at work in your life, severing the bonds of deception, fear, and confusion that have tried to cloud your perception. You are being urged to rise and stand in the authority that God has placed within you. Your presence on this earth is not accidental. Your image carries spiritual essence, and your words and actions create waves of light that impact others far beyond what you can see. The whispers of doubt that come against you are not your own thoughts, but shadows sent to weaken your faith. Archangel Michael reminds you that your energy influences many, and when you walk in truth, heaven amplifies your impact. Those around you are affected by your light, and even if they do not understand it, they sense something divine moving through you. There are spiritual signs and awareness blooming in your path now. Unusual synchronicities, repeated numbers, meaningful dreams, and coincidental meetings are all signs that heaven is drawing your attention toward deeper faith. Your prayers and tears have not been ignored. They have been gathered as sacred offerings before the throne of grace. Heaven has noticed your endurance, your longing for clarity, and your willingness to walk the path of truth even when misunderstood. You are being prepared to move into a higher level of awareness, where your soul's truth and your human thoughts must come into harmony. Within you there has been a conflict between the opinions of others and the quiet whisper of your soul. Archangel Michael asks you to cease the inner war and to listen to the still small voice that carries peace. Habitual actions and old emotional wounds may still be influencing your decisions, but this message comes as a healing balm to free you from those ties. Your soul's truth will always align with peace, while the mind's confusion often serves fear. Therefore, Michael commands you to step into prayer daily, not with panic or repetition, but with trust and presence. When you pray, you shift spiritual dimensions, for your words send light into the unseen. He reminds you that prayer is not begging, it is partnership with heaven. Through prayer, you declare alignment with divine will. Michael's command is also clear: do not react in fear or resentment. Choose faith, gratitude, and courage. His sword of truth cuts through lies, manipulation, and confusion that may have surrounded your path. Spiritual battle is real, but you are not fighting alone. Angels are already moving to protect you, to soften hearts, and to bring clarity to those who have misunderstood you. Where there has been chaos, order will return. Where there has been division, healing will take place. You are asked to handle opposition with grace. For some who oppose you are not enemies but souls blinded by fear and misunderstanding. Forgiveness will unlock heavenly favor over your life. Let your reactions be guided by wisdom rather than emotion, for calmness is a weapon of light. Archangel Michael instructs you to respond to hostility not with retaliation but with peace, for this confuses darkness and strengthens your spiritual protection. Confirmation will come from heaven itself. Small signs will appear, phrases that repeat, songs that carry messages, peaceful feelings after prayer. Each is a divine reassurance that you are on the right path. Keep a record of these signs, for they remind you that you are never alone. Your identity and worth are divine, established not by human judgment but by the decree of God. You are a chosen light-bearer, and your worth cannot be diminished by failure or criticism. Your light is not arrogance, it is assignment. Heaven does not measure success by applause but by faithfulness to purpose. The promise of protection and victory is sealed over your life. Archangel Michael stands guard with wings outstretched and sword drawn on your behalf. Heaven's word of love and protection surrounds you, dispelling rumors, misunderstandings, and every false accusation. What was meant to harm you will turn into testimony. The spiritual realm is aligning for your breakthrough. This is not the time to give up, but to rise again in strength. Prayer moves angels into action, and faith becomes the shield that stops the fiery darts of despair. When you pray, the darkness retreats, and your heart becomes a conduit of divine power. Faith is your lifeline. It connects you to heaven's power and cuts through spiritual conflict. Relationships that once caused pain will now begin to transform. Some who spoke against you may become defenders of your truth. Others may drift away, and though it may feel lonely, it is divine protection. Heaven is turning these transitions into opportunities for restoration and clarity. God's sovereign plan is still unfolding. What appears delayed is merely preparation. What has been hidden will soon be revealed, and every confusion will be turned into understanding. Your story is still in its opening chapters. The battles you face are not signs of failure but signs that you are approaching a divine turning point. You are being refined, not rejected. Do not chase or force outcomes. Stand firm and shine bright, for your faith is your light in this storm. After the struggle, you will stand in the sunlight of a new day, walking beside those meant to remain in your journey. Fear will try to whisper that you are alone, but fear is the enemy's voice. Choose instead to trust in divine protection. You are known, loved, and guarded by heaven's highest warrior, Archangel Michael. Even now, your name is spoken in heavenly realms with affection and assurance. This is your reminder that heaven fights for you and that you are moving toward victory, not defeat. You are being called to trust beyond the limits of your current understanding, to release the fears that hold you in cycles of doubt, and to stand firmly in the power of your divine identity. Your name is written in the heart of God, and your prayers have already reached the throne. Every tear you have shed has been seen, and none of your efforts have been in vain. You carry within you an unbreakable beauty that no misunderstanding or human rejection can erase. Heaven reminds you that your identity is not tied to what others think of you but to what God has spoken over your life since the beginning of time. When you walk in that awareness, you move with authority, and the forces of confusion must retreat. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that even those who have judged or doubted you have been instruments in shaping your spiritual growth. Their misunderstanding does not define your value, it refines your faith. Even the holiest souls have faced opposition, and so too will you, but opposition does not signify failure. It confirms that you are walking the path of truth. When you face judgment, answer not with defense but with peace. Heaven sees your integrity, and in due time, clarity will replace confusion. Overcoming misunderstanding and judgment begins with forgiveness, both for others and yourself. Release the need to prove your worth, for heaven already knows it. The divine plan does not require explanation to be valid. It only requires your trust. Even Jesus and the prophets were misjudged by those they came to help, yet they never allowed the ignorance of others to dim their light. Let this truth strengthen you. Your worth and destiny are secure beyond the words or opinions of others. Every whisper against you is being turned into a testimony of grace. The heavens are aligning to clear confusion, to bring truth into the open, and to restore peace in your relationships. Angels are actively working behind the scenes, softening hearts, clearing false perceptions, and building bridges where walls once stood. Archangel Michael, as the great protector, fights unseen battles on your behalf. His sword of light pierces through clouds of fear and misunderstanding, cutting away every attachment that hinders your growth. You are never abandoned in your struggle. The unseen realm is filled with allies fighting for your breakthrough. Heaven's active intervention is surrounding you right now, even in moments when you cannot see evidence. Trust that divine forces are already clearing the path ahead. The plans of those who have sought to harm or discredit you are being exposed, and truth is emerging like dawn after a long night. The storm may roar, but it will not consume you, for you are shielded by divine command. Archangel Michael stands as the guardian of truth, ensuring that what has been hidden in darkness will be revealed in light. Every deception will collapse under the weight of divine justice. This is not punishment but purification, a necessary step before your next elevation. The final assurance of heaven is this: you are safe, loved, and protected. Nothing can thwart God's plan for your life. Every season of waiting, every delay, has been purposeful. The divine hand has been arranging circumstances so that when your blessing arrives, it will not be stolen or misused. This message comes as a heavenly reminder that the turning point is here. Do not waver in faith. Trust completely. Release the need to control outcomes and surrender to divine will, for surrender is the doorway to miracles. You have walked through shadows and confusion, but dawn is approaching. The light that awaits you is brighter than any pain you have endured. This is your time to stand tall in your divine identity, to let your voice and presence carry the vibration of heaven into the world around you. Let go of resentment, for it only weighs down the wings of your spirit. Instead, rise with gratitude, knowing that everything you have faced has been preparation for greater purpose. When you choose peace over retaliation, you align yourself with Archangel Michael's protection. When you choose forgiveness over bitterness, you unlock divine favor. And when you choose faith over fear, heaven's armies move swiftly on your behalf. Every act of kindness, every prayer whispered in faith, is building a fortress of light around you. The unseen battles that once caused chaos are being resolved in your favor. Soon, what was once confusing will make perfect sense. You will look back and see how every delay was divine protection, every loss was divine redirection, and every hardship was divine instruction. The universe does not work against you. It conspires for your fulfillment when your heart stays aligned with truth. The call now is to walk in unwavering trust. Archangel Michael reminds you that faith is not the absence of fear but the courage to move forward despite it. You are stronger than you realize, and heaven sees the depth of your endurance. Keep speaking truth even when silence feels safer, for your words carry light that pierces the darkness. Do not underestimate the impact of your prayers, your compassion, and your faithfulness. Heaven measures greatness not by status but by service. Continue to bless those who curse you, to love those who misunderstand you, for in doing so, you disarm the enemy's plans. Every obstacle you face is an invitation to deepen your connection with the divine. When doubt rises, remember this truth: the greater the storm, the greater the testimony of peace that follows. Heaven is not distant. It is active, alive, and attentive to your every need. You are surrounded by divine energy that guides, guards, and grounds you in every step. As you stand firm in your calling, the vibration of heaven flows through you, blessing all who cross your path. Your journey is sacred, your life is significant, and your purpose is eternal. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter written by divine hands. Therefore, walk boldly, trust fully, and know that Archangel Michael's light will never depart from your side. Every challenge you have endured has been preparing you to walk in the fullness of your divine identity and purpose. You have been shaped through storms, refined through fire, and strengthened by faith. For heaven never wastes pain. It transforms it into wisdom. Archangel Michael speaks now to remind you that your path has been divinely chosen, not as punishment but as preparation. The difficulties you faced were never meant to destroy you. They were designed to awaken the power within you that had been dormant. You have been walking through a divine initiation, a sacred process that brings your human will into alignment with God's will. The angels have watched as you persevered when others doubted, as you continued to pray even when answers seemed distant, and as you chose light in the midst of darkness. Because of your endurance, new strength is being released into your spirit. Heaven is rewarding your faithfulness, and doors that were once sealed are now opening by divine decree. This is your season of spiritual empowerment, where your voice will carry new authority and your prayers will manifest faster than before. You are being entrusted with greater responsibility, for you have proven your loyalty to truth. Archangel Michael assures you that as you step into this new phase, divine protection will surround you like a shield. The same angels who defended you in battle will now escort you into victory. The heavens are rejoicing, for your faith has shifted realms and broken generational cycles of fear and doubt. Where confusion once clouded your path, clarity now comes like the morning sun. God's sovereign plan is unfolding precisely as it should. You are being called to trust His timing, for nothing in your life has been delayed. Everything has been strategically aligned for your highest good. The divine plan is often hidden until the appointed time, but know this: every unanswered prayer, every closed door, was part of your preparation. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. Heaven withholds only to protect and perfect. As you look back, you will realize that what seemed like detours were divine shortcuts toward your destiny. You are being reminded not to lose heart in this process of divine unfolding. Stand firm, for your perseverance is building a foundation that cannot be shaken. The winds may blow, but your faith will hold you steady. Archangel Michael encourages you to keep shining your light boldly, even when the world grows darker. Do not allow the negativity of others to dim your radiance. The light within you was placed there to lead, to heal, and to inspire. Each act of love you share sends ripples through the spiritual realm, touching hearts you may never meet. Heaven is amplifying your influence, ensuring that your presence carries the fragrance of peace and hope. This is your moment to stand firm and shine bright. The divine calls you to rise above circumstances, to see with eyes of faith rather than fear. When you stand in truth, you become immovable, for truth anchors the soul. The storms you have faced are now subsiding, and after the clouds clear, you will stand in the sunlight of victory, with renewed purpose and restored joy. Those who walked away will see your strength and understand that your faith was never weakness. It was power disguised in humility. Let this new light within you become a beacon to others still walking through darkness. Show them by your example that love conquers fear, and that forgiveness frees the soul more than any form of retribution ever could. Fear may attempt to return, whispering doubts into your mind, but remember that fear is only an illusion. It cannot coexist where faith is active. Choose trust, choose surrender, choose divine alignment. You are surrounded by heavenly guardians who shield you from unseen harm. You are deeply known, eternally loved, and carefully watched over by Archangel Michael and the hosts of heaven. The power of divine identity flows through your being. Your essence is sacred, your name carries heavenly resonance, and your spirit bears the mark of divine selection. You carry an unbreakable beauty that cannot be diminished by failure or criticism. You are chosen to carry light into places of darkness, to speak truth into spaces of silence, and to awaken hope where despair once ruled. The world may not always recognize your purpose, but heaven celebrates it daily. Archangel Michael reminds you that spiritual authority is not granted by the approval of others but by divine appointment. You have been entrusted with this light not to hide it but to share it. Continue to stand firm even when misunderstood, for your steadfastness will become a testimony that inspires others to trust again. When you are tempted to question your worth, remember that your worth was determined before you were born. It is not earned through perfection but received through divine love. Even when others misjudge your intentions, keep your heart pure, for heaven sees the truth. Your destiny extends beyond the opinions of men. It is written in eternal light. Overcoming misunderstanding and judgment is part of your sacred training. Each time you choose grace over reaction, your spirit grows stronger, your vibration rises, and heaven draws closer. Even the greatest teachers faced false accusations, yet their faith never faltered. You, too, must walk this path with patience and dignity, knowing that your vindication will come from divine timing. Your destiny cannot be delayed by human misunderstanding. Every challenge is being transformed into a stepping stone toward your elevation. Angels are actively clearing the atmosphere around you, removing confusion and restoring peace. Archangel Michael himself is cutting through layers of deception, ensuring that truth will prevail. The unseen realm is in motion for your favor. You may not yet see all the evidence, but soon the pieces will align perfectly. Heaven's intervention is not limited to your protection. It also brings healing, reconciliation, and restoration. People who once misunderstood you will begin to see your true light. Circumstances that once seemed hopeless will suddenly open into opportunity. What you thought was lost is being returned in a greater form. The divine plan is restoring balance to your life, making all things new. You are safe, beloved, and surrounded by grace. Heaven's love is an unbreakable circle around you. This moment marks the beginning of your new season of clarity, abundance, and peace. Stand tall, for you are a vessel of divine light, and Archangel Michael's promise over you remains steadfast. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every false word spoken against you shall fall away like dust before the wind. The path before you now is blessed with divine clarity, and every shadow that once caused doubt is being illuminated by the light of truth. Archangel Michael speaks directly into your heart. Do not underestimate the power within you, for you are chosen to carry light into places where despair has taken root. The weight of your journey has not been without purpose. For every tear you have shed has watered seeds of wisdom that are now ready to bloom. The challenges you endured were training grounds, not punishments, each one shaping your resilience, sharpening your vision, and anchoring your spirit deeper in faith. Heaven wants you to see that you were never abandoned, not even for a moment. When you thought you were walking alone, angels were carrying you. When you felt silenced by fear, divine whispers were guiding your next step. This truth is your foundation now. You are never powerless, you are never forgotten, and you are never beyond the reach of divine protection. This message calls you to live not in reaction but in creation. You are called to create with your words, with your faith, with your choices, and with your vision. Archangel Michael's sword is not only for protection but also for direction, cutting away illusions so that you may step into the clarity of divine assignment. Do not allow temporary setbacks to make you believe you are unworthy. What feels delayed is simply preparing you for a more perfect alignment. What feels lost is only being transformed so that it can return to you in greater fullness. Even in moments of uncertainty, trust that heaven is orchestrating every detail, weaving together a story greater than what your human eyes can see. The tapestry of your destiny is woven with golden threads of perseverance, love, and unwavering trust. As you walk forward, expect to feel a stronger pull toward truth and authenticity. Your soul is shedding the weight of false expectations and empty judgments. You no longer need to seek validation from those who do not understand your journey, for your validation comes from divine approval. The world may try to distract you with comparison and competition, but your spirit is rising above such illusions. You are unique, and your calling cannot be duplicated. This uniqueness is your power. Stand firm in it. When you accept your divine identity fully, you radiate a light that strengthens others, awakening courage in those who feel unseen. You are becoming a living message of hope, a walking testimony of heaven's faithfulness. Michael's guidance is also clear. Remember the importance of peace in your responses. Darkness thrives when you engage with anger, but it collapses when you stand calm and firm in love. You are asked to disarm hostility with kindness, to overcome fear with compassion, and to walk with humility that reflects divine strength. The more you embody peace, the more your presence becomes a sanctuary for those around you. People will find comfort simply in your energy because you carry the vibration of heaven wherever you go. Let your life itself become a prayer, an unspoken testimony that faith conquers fear, that love heals wounds, and that truth always prevails. The assurance of heaven is unshakable. You are protected, and you will overcome. The storms that once seemed endless are already breaking. What lies ahead is a season of restoration and divine justice. You will see truth rise where lies once tried to dominate. You will experience reconciliation where division once lived. And you will feel joy return to the places that sorrow once ruled. This is not wishful thinking but divine certainty, for Archangel Michael stands as a witness to the promises sealed over your life. Every battle has prepared you for this victory, and every wound has given you the compassion to help others rise. What was once your pain will now become your power, a tool to guide, to heal, and to inspire. Therefore, Walk boldly into this next season. Lift your head, for heaven smiles upon you. Stand strong, for angels surround you. Shine brightly, for your light is needed in a world longing for truth. Carry within you the reminder that you are divinely appointed, eternally loved, and forever guided. When fear whispers, answer with faith. When doubt knocks, respond with prayer. When shadows try to linger, stand in the certainty of light. You are not the same soul who began this journey. You are transformed, renewed, and awakened. The truth of who you are is your greatest weapon, and the love you carry is your greatest victory. Beloved soul, Archangel Michael's closing assurance to you is this: nothing can stand against the will of God in your life. No voice of judgment, no